Welcome to Present Poetry. I'm your host, Erin Crittenden, and all poems within this podcast are either public domain or used with permission from the author or the author's estate. It's a fun time for poetry lovers of all ages, so sit back, relax, and get ready to hear some poems of the past and the present. This week's featured poet is Rupert Brooke. Rupert Chalmer Brooke was born August 3, 1887 in Rugby, Warwickshire, England, and was the third child of William Parker Brooke and Ruth Mary Cotterill. He attended a local preparatory school until his teenage years, when he transferred to Rugby School where his father worked. In October of 1906, Rupert left Rugby School and went to King's College in Cambridge to study classics. There, he became a member of the Apostles, was elected as president of the University Fabian Society, and helped to found the Marlowe Society Drama Club, where he acted in several productions, including the Cambridge Greek play. Brooke also made friends among the Bloomsbury group of writers, some of whom admired his talent while others were more impressed by his good looks, a feature that prompted Irish poet W.B. Yeats to describe him as the handsomest young man in England. However, in 1912, Brooke had an emotional breakdown and cut his association with the Bloomsbury group. As part of his recuperation, Brooke toured the U.S. and Canada writing travel diaries for the Westminster Gazette. However, his poetry was slowly gaining traction back home, and he eventually gained the attention of Winston Churchill. Brooke enlisted at the outbreak of war in 1914 and served as a Royal Naval Volunteer Reserve temporary sub-lieutenant, assigned to the Royal Naval Division. In 1915, he became an official war poet when the Times Literary Supplement published two of his sonnets, one titled The Dead and the other titled The Soldier. Brooke used that fame to publish 1914 and Other Poems, his first collection of poetry, in May of 1915. Unfortunately, he wouldn't live to see his success, and Rupert Brooke died on April 23, 1915, at the age of 27. He was on a French hospital ship moored off the Greek island of Skyros, and had developed severe gastroenteritis while stationed in Egypt, followed by streptococcal sepsis from an infected mosquito bite. William Dennis Brown, a close friend of Brooke, wrote the following words about his final moments. I sat with Rupert. At 4 o'clock he became weaker, and at 4:46 he died, with the sun shining all around his cabin and the cool sea breeze blowing through the door and the shaded windows. No one could have wished for a quieter or calmer end than in that lovely bay, shielded by the mountains and fragrant with sage and thyme. This poem is called Sleeping Out Full Moon. They sleep within. I cower to the earth, I waking, I only. High and cold thou dreamest, O queen, high dreaming and lonely. We have slept too long, who can hardly win. The white one flame and the night long crying, the viewless passers, the world's low sighing, with desire, with yearning, to the fire unburning, to the heatless fire, to the flameless ecstasy. Helpless I lie, and around me the feet of thy watchers tread. There is a rumor and a radiance of wings above my head, an intolerable radiance of wings. All the earth grows fire, white lips of desire, brushing cool on the forehead, croon slumberous things. Earth fades, and the air is thrilled with ways, dewy paths full of comfort and radiant bands. The gracious presence of friendly hands help the blind one, the glad one, who stumbles and strays, stretching wavering hands up, up through the praise of a myriad silver trumpets, through cries, to all glory, to all gladness, to the infinite height, to the gracious, the unmoving, the mother eyes, and the laughter and the lips of light. This poem is called Seaside. Swiftly out from the friendly lilt of the band, the crowd's good laughter, the loved eyes of men, I am drawn nightward, I must turn again, where, down beyond the low, untrodden strand, there curves and glimmers outward to the unknown, the old, unquiet ocean. All the shade is rife with magic and movement. I stray alone, here on the edge of silence, half afraid, waiting a sign. In the deep heart of me, the sullen waters swell towards the moon, and all my tides set seaward. From inland leaps a gay fragment of some mocking tune, that tinkles and laughs and fades along the sand, and dies between the seawall and the sea. This poem is called Failure. Because God put his adamantine fate between my sullen heart and its desire, I swore that I would burst the iron gate, rise up and curse him on his throne of fire. Earth shuddered at my crown of blasphemy, but love was as a flame about my feet. Proud up the golden stair I strode, and beat thrice on the gate, and entered with a cry. All the great courts were quiet in the sun, and full of vacant echoes. Moss had grown over the glassy pavement, and begun to creep within the dusty council halls. An idle wind blew round an empty throne, and stirred the heavy curtains on the walls. This poem is called Dead Men's Love. There was a damned successful poet. There was a woman like the sun, and they were dead. They did not know it. They did not know their time was done. They did not know his hymns were silence, and her limbs, that had served love so well, dust and a filthy smell. And so one day, as ever of old, hands out, they hurried knee to knee, on fire to cling and kiss and hold, and in the other's eyes to see, each his own tiny face, and in that long embrace, feel lip and breast grow warm, to breast and lip and arm. So knee to knee they sped again, and laugh they ran, I'm told, across the streets of hell, and then they suddenly felt the wind blow cold, and knew, so closely pressed, chill air on lip and breast, and, with a sick surprise, the emptiness of eyes. This poem is called The Soldier. If I should die, think only this of me, that there's some corner of a foreign field that is forever England. There shall be, in that rich earth, a richer dust concealed, a dust whom England bore, shaped, made aware, gave once her flowers to love, her ways to roam, a body of England's, breathing English air, washed by the rivers, blessed by sons of home. And think this heart all evil shed away, a pulse in the eternal mind, no less, gives somewhere back the thoughts by England given, her sights and sounds, dreams happy as her day, and laughter learnt of friends and gentleness, and hearts at peace under an English heaven. Thank you for listening to this episode of Present Poetry. If you enjoyed it, please leave us a review, share us on social media, or subscribe so you never miss an episode. If you would like to learn more about the featured poet, or you would like your work featured on the podcast, please check out the links in the show notes. Thank you again for listening, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.